are with Philip Dimitriou, and he's going to tell us, because you have done a travel through the Scottish ancient rites also. What did you find in there? Is there something that we used to, to say that you through these research years, you see that it's exactly not like that?
It happened that the lodge I first belonged to the Grand Lodge of Greece that works on the ancient and accepted Scottish rite. Mm-hmm. So that's all I knew. I grew up in there. And then I received the higher degrees of the Scottish rite, the Greek Supreme Council, mm-hmm. the Supreme Council for Greece, all the degrees, and I was studying a lot, all the rituals, trying to understand behind what's the sequence, what's the point, what's the meaning, what do I learn more, where does this come from, the other thing comes from. So I put a lot of effort into the Scottish rite and the ecosystem in general. Mm-hmm. Ecosystem is a more generic term. It's much older than what we think. It's before 1717, the ecosystem. And the ancient and accepted Scottish rite is the most modern version of the ecosystem. Okay. So that's where you have a lot of stuff to read, and it's very passionate. There's a lot of history in there. The ecosystem has several branches though, except beside the fact that the ancient and accepted Scottish rite that we all know on 33rd degrees, in reality 30 degrees because the 3 first degrees are gone, they shouldn't, but it's there somehow. Anyway, we had other rites like the Scottish primitive rite, which does not exist anymore. We have the rectified Scottish rite that, it's a big story behind this rectified rite, born before the ancient and accepted Scottish rite. Yes. And then my itinerary was also to the American system, like the Knight Templars and things like that.
What did you find? We were having a chat moments ago about the Templars. Mm-hmm. What did you find in this path of research?
The Knight Templars is a very exciting chapter for every Freemason. There are entire systems working in Templarism. We have in every famous system the exterior decor of the Knight Templars. However, my conclusion after very extensive researches is that there is no true connection between the Knight Templars and Freemasonry. It's a legend that sticks very well to Freemasonry because we like it, because there are common elements that you can think like sources. They are sources. But Freemasonry is much older than the Knight Templars.
But it all began with the statement of Ramsay, of the Chevalier of Ramsay. That he said there was a connection between the Crusades, meaning the Templars, and the Freemasonry.
Yes, but he got it from somebody else. It wasn't his invention. The Troyas, if I remember well now. Mm-hmm. So, and if that's correct, there should have been somebody else before that person too. So the myth expands. The actual myth of the Knight Templars is a little bit, the first sparkle, as we know it, is the 2 Ramsay speeches, 1736, 1737, but it was developed a little bit later, especially by French. And as we know it today, it was developed by French on German territory, military lodges in Germany.
It's amazing. And to conclude our conversation, and then I hope that very soon you can be in Portugal, having a conference showing your books, because I know, of course, the books are in Greek, but you have also translations in other languages, I think.
Translations in, yes, actually I work mainly on the French originals, which I include in my books. Okay. So a French-speaking person is very useful for the French-speaking person. My books are targeted to the Greek audience, since I live in Greece. But if you ever come to Greece, you should visit the Masonic Institute. There's a lot of stuff in various languages, and I'm looking forward to see you
It
in
will
one
be a
of these
pleasure.
wonderful meetings.
Let me ask you, I just remember something. During this research time that you had, you have to study a lot of documents, and some of them very old documents. Is there any document that you have studied that have impressed you? Because you have entered in the mind of the people that done that.
Many documents have impressed me. The latest that is impressing me these days is the famous Belot manuscript, or also called the Santo Domingo manuscript, which is the grandfather of the ancient and accepted Scottish Rite, which I have translated from the manuscript entirely. It's finished now, and I'm going to publish it with comments and an introduction in a while, which when we get into the manuscripts and we compare them, we get a lot of valuable information about the society back then, the way of thinking and living of those brethren back then. It's very exciting.
So would you say that normally we say that the ancient Scottish Rite, it's not so ancient as that, it's not accepted, and it's not French, it's not Scottish? What would you say about this? Three statements.
Yeah, that's
because we have done this study.
Yeah, it's funny because on my first book I wrote that the ancient and accepted Scottish Rite is not ancient, it's not accepted,
Exactly.
It's not Scottish. Well, I'm recalling this on my latest books because, you know, it is ancient, it is accepted by those who accept it, and it's somehow Scottish, born in France.
Also, there is this always these conversations about the landmarks, because you know everybody talks about the landmarks. For instance, our Grand Lodge, Grand Lodge of Soberana 12 follows the 12 landmarks, but you have the landmarks of Bacay. You have so many landmarks. What do you think about this? Because we're talking about 1723. When Anderson, you know, made the landmarks, the landmarks were also a political tool.
I have written a book about the landmarks, the 29 different landmark systems that I found worldwide. So my conclusion is that the landmarks is a very subjective topic. It's an organizational and administrative tool for specific jurisdictions. If we compare all the landmarks over the years and the centuries and the continents, it will be funny because maybe there's only one that they all accept, you know. Not even one landmark that all Freemasons will accept. So it's human-made rules to keep some boundaries in a specific jurisdiction. So landmarks, and you know, some jurisdictions don't accept any landmarks at all, and some others have too many. That's a very long discussion.
And to conclude our conversation, that I thank you very much, this is connected with the question of landmarks, because you know sometimes when we are talking among obediences, they talk about this, they talk about recognition. Recognition is the capacity to visit and be visited. We're talking about Freemasonry when it exists, when it was born to be a leader in the sense of do the example. Okay? So do things as an example. And we see that there are a lot of obediences, let's say, all around the world that don't understood exactly this. They just go to their lodges, just follow the ritual, they enter, they do the ritual, they go away, and that's it. And I think we're living a time that Masonic values must be alive more than ever. What do you think about the future of Freemasonry? It's the same what you think about the brothers that are inside the lodges that will do Freemasonry.
Freemasonry is dying unless we do Freemasonry. It's not a social club. There are thousands of social clubs to go and play. Freemasonry is a serious thing. It's a lot of philosophy and esotericism into it. We need to put a lot of work, choose rightly the people we put in our lodges. We need quality brethren to support the system and keep it alive. Freemasonry is a great tool for our minds and for the society. First we work for ourselves to make ourselves better, and then we try to make the society better. If we're not good enough, what can we do for the society?